In the sky, birds of prey always have the advantage from the start. They observe first, maintain a high vantage point, and only act when the opportunity is clear. Each approach is swift and precise, leaving little time for their opponent to react. And in most situations, they are the ones in control and win. In midair, birds of prey don't just fly. They observe, maintain distance, and wait for the right moment to control the space. Each species has its own approach. Some dive down at speeds exceeding 150 miles per hour. Others approach in near absolute silence. Their bodies have been perfected over millions of years. Curved talons tighten upon impact. Long wings maintain balance during a dive. Eyes can lock onto movement from over a mile away. Every characteristic points toward an approach that wastes no opportunity. But the sky isn't as vast as it seems. It's a space of constant competition, where many species coexist and are forced to choose different hunting methods to survive. Some choose speed, some choose patience, some rely on timing and location. And in this world, results don't come from sheer power alone. It comes from the right decisions, formed over time, and only lasts if they are truly effective. In the swamp, everything is almost still, and the shoebill maintains that stillness. Nearly 5 feet tall, with a wingspan of about 8 feet, its beak almost a foot long, it forms a heavy, sturdy figure. The shoebill doesn't move. It holds its position, observing for a long time, until the environment reveals its weakness. Under the murky water, prey glides past unnoticed. The shoebill remains motionless. It listens, locks position, waits for the moment of vulnerability. Then the movement happens quick, precise. A single beak strike closes the distance. The outcome is decided in that instant. The prey has no time to react before being subdued. The prolonged wait turns into an advantage in a very way. Among birds of prey, eagles don't need to rush. Their wingspan of over 7 feet allows them to maintain stability at great heights. Their eyesight is about 8 times sharper than humans, enough to detect subtle movements from over a mile away. Eagles don't fly continuously using their strength. They glide along warm air currents to conserve energy, observing their entire environment before making a decision. On a rocky mountainside, a mountain goat begins to slow down as the terrain becomes steep and narrow. From above, the eagle, having been watching beforehand, maintains its distance and waits in the right position. The eagle descends gradually with the wind, approaching from a blind spot in the terrain. No prolonged collision is needed. A single swoop is enough to bring down the mountain goat. The space changes, but the approach remains constant. When a venomous snake surfaces near the water's surface, the eagle adjusts its trajectory, maintains stability, and dives down at the precise moment. The eagle's beak grips tightly, lifting its target out of its familiar environment. Control is established instantly, and the snake has no chance of escaping its defeat. From the high mountains to the water's surface, every event follows a clear sequence. Observe, wait, then control. The eagle doesn't rely on sheer strength. It relies on intelligence, on conserving energy, and on its ability to choose the right moment. As the national animal of Australia, kangaroos are notable for their muscular physique and impressive strength. Kangaroos can stand over 6 feet tall, with powerful hind legs and sharp claws. They balance on their tails and can deliver powerful kicks in self-defense when threatened. On the ground, they are not easily controlled. In the middle of a withered field, an eagle observes from above, targeting a kangaroo. The kangaroo maintains its altitude, chooses its approach angle, and then swoops down rapidly. The pounce happens in an instant, focusing on the moment the kangaroo is off guard. That moment is not enough for a full reaction. The outcome is decided immediately after the collision. The eagle dominates for the first few seconds and maintains the pace of the attack. Its increasing speed leaves the kangaroo unable to defend itself, forcing it to turn or move away. The events unfold quickly. The kangaroo begins by selecting its target, then executes a precise dive and immediately shifts to control. In this situation, ground strength is not readily available. The deciding factors are the initial speed and accuracy of the approach. As darkness falls, the space becomes quieter, and that's when the owl takes control. Owls don't need light to see. They can rotate their heads nearly 270 degrees, expanding their field of vision without moving their bodies. Their specially structured wings allow them to fly almost silently, keeping the entire area in absolute silence. In the low grass, a very small movement appears. The owl doesn't react immediately. It stands still, listening, locating its prey with its hearing in the darkness. When all signals become clear, the owl lowers and swoops down at a speed of about 30 miles per hour, a movement with almost no warning. The outcome is decided in that instant. The small prey, before it even realizes the danger, is completely subdued. And this isn't a one-time occurrence. It happens night after night, hundreds, thousands of times each year. Red foxes, skunks, and hawks are no match for it. They all form a precise, cold-blooded, yet essential hunting chain for survival. In the darkness, where vision is unreliable, the greatest advantage isn't strength. It's the ability to become invisible and control space without leaving a trace. On the ground, lizards control with their endurance. Their long, heavy bodies, thick skin, and powerful bite help them stay grounded in a fight. They don't need speed, they hold their position, advance slowly, and wait for their opponent to make a mistake. But that advantage only lasts when the battle takes place on the ground. From above, the hawk observes in silence. The hawk keeps its distance, waits for the right moment, then swoops down at speeds exceeding 100 miles per hour. There is no warning. The moment of approach happens before the lizard realizes it. The outcome is decided the moment of contact. The lizard loses control before it can react. The advantage of endurance is meaningless once the pace has changed. The hawk is defeated by the hawk's talons. In this confrontation, it's not the stronger one who wins. It's the one who controls the first moment. The hawk appeared, acted, and then departed before danger could even materialize, and it was speed and audacity that ultimately determined the outcome. Unlike other predators, vultures don't seek out the dead. They survive on what's already dead. Thanks to their keen sense of smell and eyesight, they can detect food sources from tens of miles away. They hover long periods in the air, flapping their wings infrequently to conserve energy and observe constantly. When one detects a carcass, the vulture begins to descend. Others quickly fly in the same direction. In a short time, many gather in the same area. They rely on observing each other's movements to determine location. When the vulture lands, the major danger is usually over. The food source is readily available. They approach immediately and eat quickly to utilize their energy before competition arises. Time is shortened to reduce risk. The entire process follows a clear sequence: detection, concentration, then utilization. They don't need to be faster or stronger than other species. Higher altitudes always offer a clear advantage. It's a combination of observation, timing, and precision in every movement. Each species employs a different strategy, but all aim for the same outcome. And in most situations, it is the birds of prey that control the situation and win. From a height where every movement below is visible, the eagle prepares for attacks that leave the ground no time to react. Each dive is a combination of superior eyesight, gravity, and precise decision-making in a matter of seconds. The footage captures not only the ferocity of the attack, but also the inherent risk of miscalculation. In the wild, the difference between the ruler of the skies and a sudden defeat is just a split second. High in the canopy, the monkey survives thanks to its agility and constant observation. It moves swiftly between branches, always choosing positions with many handholds to prepare for escape. However, when separated from the group and stopping in a narrow space, that safety becomes fragile. The eagle appears from behind the foliage and swoops down almost without a chase. The approach is so quick that the monkey doesn't have time to change branches or lower its body. Its talons lock on in a single reflex, ending any chance of escape before it can grab onto another handhold. After taking down its prey, the eagle struggles to carry its heavy weight in mid-air. It is forced to lower its altitude and drag the prey to a more secure position to gain complete control. Success comes from absolute surprise, but the post-hunting phase clearly reveals the physical limitations of the predator. In nature, victory lies not only in the moment of attack, but also in the ability to maintain control afterward. The element of surprise creates opportunities, but endurance is what determines the end of the hunt. On a steep, rocky mountainside, the adult goat stands firm, its survival instincts honed by the treacherous terrain. Its hooves grip the rocks firmly, and its reflexes for maintaining balance help it adapt to the dangerous slope. This stability creates a natural defense that not every predator anticipates. The eagle swoops down and latches onto its prey's back, but quickly realizes its mistake in choosing the wrong adult. It lacks the strength to lift the goat off the ground. As the goat tumbles down the slope to escape, the eagle is pulled along, losing control and forced to quickly spread its wings to avoid a more severe impact. The attack ends with the eagle at a disadvantage. In that moment, the predator becomes a temporary victim of its own familiar clinging tactic. This is a clear limitation of power from a high vantage point. A wrong decision about the target can lead to serious consequences in just seconds. On the open ground, the wolf moves with hunting instincts honed through many harsh seasons. It is accustomed to relying on its sense of smell and pack coordination to control the situation. But when separated from its pack and running alone, all senses must take responsibility. From above, the eagle detects this belated movement. It swoops down with great speed, creating an element of absolute surprise before the wolf can fully react. Its talons lock onto the wolf's back and shoulders, immobilizing the prey for a moment. leaving the wolf only able to bite and shake instinctively for survival, but unable to attack upwards. Controlled from a higher position, the wolf gradually loses control of the situation. The eagle maintains a safe distance from its sharp teeth and maintains a steady grip. This success does not come from a difference in strength, but from the element of surprise and the position of attack. In nature, the advantage usually lies with the one who gains the upper hand and the decisive moment. In the open prairie, the rabbit relies on its survival instincts, speed and sudden changes of direction. It's accustomed to zigzagging to disrupt the predator's attack rhythm. Sensing pressure from above, its hind legs are ready to spring forcefully off the ground. The eagle locks onto its target and swoops down with precise trajectory. The rabbit unexpectedly leaps high, disrupting the approach time and causing the first pounce to miss by a hair's breadth. But the eagle quickly regains its altitude, adjusts its angle, and takes advantage of the moment the rabbit lands to launch a second attack. This time its talons tighten before the rabbit can change direction again. The chase ends quickly, as the element of surprise combines with precise calculation. This is a battle of reflexes and tactics, where victory belongs to the one who better controls the pace. In nature, even a small misstep in timing can determine the entire outcome. Amidst the snow-covered field, the fox moved with hunting instincts honed over many winters. Its ears subtly perked up to catch the slightest sound beneath the thin layer of ice. Though the snow slowed its speed and left clear tracks, it persevered, focused on its target, unaware it was being watched. Above, an eagle locked onto the movement below with its superior eyesight. It narrowed its circle, folded its wings to reduce air resistance, and began to dive. Its body accelerated steadily, heading straight towards the fox, clearly visible against the empty snow. As its large shadow swept across the ground, the fox immediately changed direction and zigzagged to avoid it. But in the open space, the advantage gradually narrowed. The eagle's talons grazed its target, forcing the fox to roll to the side to avoid the dangerous pounce. The distance finally widened as the eagle spread its wings, regained altitude, and ceased its pursuit. The fox stood still, breathing heavily amidst the cold snow. In this open environment, a small misstep could cost a life. Survival sometimes depended on the right reflexes in a very brief moment. Sliding through the dry grass, the snake hunts silently, sensing even the slightest vibrations beneath the ground. It doesn't move much, only raising its head when necessary and keeping its body ready to react. This very instinct of patience makes any approaching predator wary. The eagle lowered its altitude and attempted a dive, but failed to lock onto the snake's head the first time. The snake immediately raised its head, coiled itself in a defensive position, and delivered a quick bite, forcing the eagle to retreat. After a few rounds of reassessing the risk, the eagle adjusted its approach angle, swooped down more precisely, and tightened its grip on the snake's body in an instant. The struggle ended quickly when the snake could no longer maintain its defensive position. The eagle gained control of its prey and lifted its wings off the ground. This wasn't just a test of strength, but a battle of wits about distance and timing. In nature, victory belongs to the one who knows how to adjust its tactics at the decisive moment. In the open forest, the young deer moved instinctively, driven by the inherent vigilance of a herbivore. It constantly raised its head, listened, and was ready to flee at the first sign of danger. But being young and separated from its mother for even a moment, its survival reflexes were sometimes insufficient to counter the threat from above. The eagle suddenly swooped down and clung tightly to the fawn's back. The deer kicked and struggled instinctively, trying to shake off its attacker. However, the talons held on tightly, applying constant pressure, giving the prey no chance to escape. It wasn't the first swoop that determined the outcome, but the persistent hold that followed. As its strength gradually diminished, the fawn no longer had the power to resist effectively. The hunt ended with the eagle's victory, demonstrating the strategy of holding on until exhaustion rather than a swift attack. In nature, the decisive moment usually comes when the prey is exhausted, not when the attack begins. On the wide, cold lake, the goose maintained its survival instincts with constant vigilance. It swam close to the surface, always ready to dive at the first sign of a shadow gliding overhead. Its ability to dive quickly in an instant extended its chances of survival, especially when the opponent came from the sky. The eagle swooped down repeatedly, each dive costing it more energy. The goose dived just before its talons reached its target, forcing the eagle to spread its wings to regain altitude and continue its circling. The battle became a test of stamina and patience, as both waited for the other to make the slightest mistake. Finally, during a slower than usual ascent, the goose left a brief gap. The eagle seized the moment, locked onto its prey, and ended the chase. This victory didn't come from superior speed, but from persistence and fewer mistakes in each subsequent attack. In nature, patience is sometimes the sharpest weapon. From snow-covered fields to towering forest canopies, every eagle's attack is a test of timing and limits. Not every dive is perfect, and not every prey is easily subdued. Footage shows that true strength lies in the ability to adapt after every small misstep. In the world of the sky and the earth, survival always belongs to the one who controls the decisive moment.